Hey, what's going on there, folks? Good morning, good afternoon. It's the Earthmaster back here on this Tuesday, April 4th, 2023. It is about 12:14 p.m. here along the west coast, and the latest earthquake shows a 6.2 coming into the Chile area. Getting a lot of earthquake activity here recently. We've also seen a 6.2 in the Philippines area. So let's go ahead and check out what's going on across the map. USGS has not got to that 6-pointer yet down here in the Chile area. That's a prior earthquake from yesterday down here. Let's see what we got. It's coming off of the EMSC model. I'll go ahead and see some specifics on this earthquake here. Reported offshore of the Chile area, 60 kilometers deep. And looks like the parameters have not been reviewed yet by a seismologist, but they will be coming in here very shortly. Either way, definitely things ramping up around the globe. The earthquake over here in the Philippines region, just outside of the Philippine Trench, was a 6.2. Looks like we had a little bit of aftershock activity following that movement as well. The 6.2 coming in at 15 kilometers deep, just shy of the Philippine Trench here at about 10 kilometers deep. So far, 2 aftershocks in the mid to upper 4 range. And following this activity, we do have some further movement here around the Andaman Sea. This is the area that I've been watching pretty closely. Of course, we did see a 6-pointer here a little bit further down south to the Sumatra area, Indonesia, northern end of the Java Trench early yesterday morning. But it looks as though that wants to a little bit further make its way a little bit further north along this plate boundary as far as the momentum and the pressure goes. So we'll continue to watch this bouncing back and forth. A lot of telltale signs out here of something bigger in the works brewing. I have a feeling with all this deeper activity, that's kind of what's going to be taking place here soon. Hard to pinpoint exactly where it's going to be, though. All right, let's see what else we got. Around the Izu Trench area, looks like we had a, let's see here, at least one deeper movement quake, 4.9, 111 kilometers deep here. A couple hours later, that was followed up by a 4.3 further to the northwest along the the East China Sea area, up into the southern end of the Kuril-Kamchatka Trench. We did see a 4.6 at 74 kilometers deep, so things definitely look like they're on the move out here across the Western Pacific and adjacent plates. USGS reporting on that yet? Nope, not yet. All right, let's see what else we got across the area. Papua New Guinea out here. A couple earthquakes. Well, one from yesterday, one from today. Latest one of 4.3, 77 kilometers deep. Looks like about the same area as yesterday's quake. Not a whole lot across the Solomon Islands. Let me check out the Earthquake 3D globe here and see what we have. Our quiet zone today appears to be this area. Fiji region south into the Tonga Trench. All this, we did have a lot of deep earthquake activity here over the past few days. That momentum looks as though it definitely shot to the west and northwest, but we still got to watch out here along these trenches for some potential larger scale movement considering all that deeper activity. There's a pretty deep earthquake here, 4.6 coming in this morning into the Tajikistan area, 174 kilometers deep for that earthquake. Let's see what else we have here across the area. 5.0 into the, let's see exactly where that's at. Looks like just, well, this is inland. Let's see here, interactive map. That's a good one there. I don't think I've ever had to pronounce this area. Either way, it looks like just on the border of Algeria and Tunisia. Is that right? Hopefully. Not a big one, but goodness, haven't really seen too much earthquake activity out there recently. Let's see what we got for historical data in this area. 5.0, 10 kilometers deep. And historical data shows a little bit of movement out here since about 1900 or so, 4.5 and above. A handful of earthquakes. Some of these getting up there around the 5 to 6 range as well. But very not too common to see earthquake activity out there. All right, let's see what else we got here across the globe. The Atlantic Ocean looks fairly calm and quiet for now. There's that got downgraded to 6.1 in Chile. Some other earthquake upstream around the Middle America Trench. It looks like just into the Mexico area. This one's coming in from yesterday, so not a whole lot of newer activity here across the area. Let's see the big island of Hawaii. Most of the movement here around the Pahala area, where it has been awfully quiet, but we did see a 3.9 come in early this morning about 9:30 in the morning or so. That's since been followed up by a couple smaller earthquakes. It has been awfully quiet here in terms of, the typical background activity around the Pahala area. Looks like that's about ready to change. Let's see what we got here for Alaska. Not a whole lot going on up here, I can tell, at the moment. Mostly smaller microquakes across the area. West Coast region here, California area. Let's see what we got for 2.5 and above. Not a whole lot. One earthquake here outside of the Mammoth Lakes area about 1 o'clock in the morning. Almost looks like there's a couple in there. 2.9 and a 2.8. Looks like we may be having can't say a swarm, just a little earthquake activity there, just outside of the Long Valley supervolcano. Aside from that, things look very typical here in Southern Cal. A little bit of movement here in the Brawley seismic zone, just off the San Andreas Fault, but nothing major currently taking place there. Yellowstone National Park, fairly quiet, listed on the map. Not a whole lot to show. Just checking this out earlier here. There is not a bunch of quake activity here at Yellowstone. When it wants to work, seems as though this site here, the one I normally use, ever since it went down here a few months ago, it's been having issues with a stable server, it looks like. So all right, well, yeah, let's check the University of Utah here real quick and see what's being reported across the area or not being reported. Here's the Yellowstone seismographs here and all these little different symbols, and the Lake Yellowstone areas where we've been seeing the swarming taking place, but it doesn't look like there's too much activity kicking up here now. This is some type of wind event up there. Doesn't look like anything of earthquake or volcanic in nature there. Let's see what else we got. Oklahoma, Texas, got some severe weather potential out here today. Stay weather aware on that. 1.8 from yesterday in the New Madrid zone. Also a little earthquake here in South Carolina. Looks like 1.6 across Anchor area, 11 kilometers. And that's about it for the eastern portion of the country. Fairly quiet. Not a whole lot happening out there. Let's see what else we got here. New Zealand, anything going on? Oh, look at that. It got downgraded. That 6.2 went from 6.1 to a 5.5. Goodness. I don't think the USGS has chimed in yet on it. We'll see what they report it as. There's the signature of the seismograph, or the earthquake there on the seismograph. Not necessarily showing up on any of the other stations, so that's very possible. It could be below a 6.0 threshold or 6.0 earthquake. So we'll see what the USGS wants to throw up there. But for now, EMSC reporting that as a 5.5. So a couple of regions here to watch today with this continued momentum along the Java Trench and the Andaman Sea area. Definitely watch us here for some larger scale movement. It's been a little while since we've seen anything major. You know, of course, that what was it, 6.2 that we've seen here yesterday, 6.1. Definitely things can get much larger in this area, and so we'll continue to keep an eye on this area for some larger scale movement. Let's see what else we got here. Space weather, not a whole lot going on in space weather, but we'll double check this here real quick. Things pretty much flatlined below the sea level category. 3270 is about the only sunspot here that's noteworthy to mention. Still harbors a little potential here for some sea flare activity. It's about the only structure here on the sun for a sunspot complex activity goes. It does harbor a beta gamma delta class here in the red. Those are the ones that harbor the most for flaring, obviously, but doesn't look like there's anything popping at the moment. We'll continue to watch that. Nothing major going on across the solar weather department as far as the auroras go. Fairly minimal. Also, just a real quick recap of the weather here today, folks. Late afternoon, overnight time period. Be on guard. There's a pretty high risk of some severe weather going on across portions of Missouri, Iowa. Looks like even portions of Oklahoma and Texas got included as well, because the low pressure system that's driving this severe weather potential has shifted a little south. So that has shifted the severe potential down into portions of Texas, Arkansas area as well. So tornado potential, there it is, 15% chance. You don't necessarily have to be in the 15% chance to see a tornado. That's just where the highest probability and the greatest dynamics in terms of weather ingredients occur or forecasted to occur today. So you can be in the 10% chance, a 2% chance as well. Just be weather aware today as you head home from work, or if you're at work or home all day. Definitely be weather aware. Late, looks like over parts of eastern Iowa, northern Illinois this afternoon, and over parts of Arkansas and Missouri tonight. Stay alert, guys. All right, we're going to get off here. Have a good one. Stay safe, and we'll chat you guys back here a little bit later on tonight. Have a good one.